honest approach towards whatsoever he does. And I personally expect today that the subject, the content, whatsoever he is going to present will be powerful for sure. We have to be attentive, we have to interactive, and we are definitely going to take many golden nuggets from his presentation, his knowledge, his thoughts, his experience. So let's focus, let's interact, and let's follow the instructions of our master Zen today, Mr. Ramamurthy. So over to you, sir. Take us through the journey of this session. We all are ready to fill our cups with your golden nuggets.
Thank you, Kunal sir. Such a great introduction. Thank you all. Good morning. It's more like a sharing session rather than one-way presentation. Let's go through time management. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is time management? What is time? So really, could we really manage the time? How to manage it? So time is a one-pointed arrow which keeps going on, pushing and sweeping everything, right? Started from billions of years ago. The time has been going in one direction. So much has evolved in the whole universe. So the physical universe started, biological universe, the cultural aspects, and whatever we are doing, various technology improvements and everything else keeps happening over a time. But how exactly do we manage the time? And also the other aspect of time is that the order becomes chaos over a period. Einstein says that time is an illusion and time has no independent existence apart from the order of events by which we measure it. So with this, is it really possible to manage the time? And how do you manage the time? Would you like to share your experiences on how are you managing the time? Let's start the discussion. So Naina, go ahead. What is time management and how do you manage your time? Or anyone, please get started.
Nobody has got more than nobody has more than 24 hours a day. Everybody's got the same number of hours. So it's up to us as to how we will, prioritize ourselves and ensure that we complete the tasks that we have during the day. And there could be a lot of, other disturbances that come in. So you need to know how you will make up for that time, the time lost because of that. So it's all about organizing yourself and making the most of the time is what I feel is time management.
Absolutely. I think you are on bang on that. Organizing, prioritizing, managing the time wasters. I think you said all the right things in managing your time. Thank you, Jashree. Naina?
Yeah, time management for me is just getting the task done, especially the one which I have in mind. As in, nowadays, it is also adding the rituals so that you are satisfied by end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, that is very important. Satisfaction and happiness. When you are really satisfied and happy, you have more time than others. Time is very, very relative. Anybody else would like to share your experience and your concepts, your ideas on time management, please?
It's all about time management is said to be life management also, and it's all about like what's your priorities to be done. You know,
Absolutely.
something on which I was facing nowadays: time management and the procrastination. Two things which you know I was struggling with, but yeah, trying to overcome with those things.
Yes, Dalai Lama, you are absolutely right. Time management is not just time management, it is the life management, it is the self-management actually. And of course, procrastination. Yes, anybody else?
Yeah,
Suresh,
I
want to
share.
say something?
Yes, Sushma.
Go
Sorry,
ahead,
sorry,
Quinn.
Kunal. Yeah, go ahead, Sushma.
Okay. For me, yes, what everyone has said is very much true. I will also add to it is what is important and what I can delegate so that I can give importance to what is, I can do what is more important or which can add more value
Absolutely. Prioritization. Yeah.
and delegation.
And delegate. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to do everything on your own. There are many things you can get it done.
Yeah, I read once if you can delegate few things which apart from your important things which is lesser cost than your cost, then do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Cost in terms of your time and your effort, your
Yes.
money. So the cost can be in all aspects. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
there's a
Yes,
book,
sir.
Seven
Connects.
Effective Ways, Seven
Yes,
Effective
Kamal.
Ways of Stephen Covey. So there are four quadrangle where no what you need to be done, what you need to be delegate, what is priority, no what is least important. So that is one of them. Delegate the things to others, which is you save your
Right.
time.
So there are two things, Kamal. One is understanding the concepts and the approaches. The other one is actually doing it.
Mm.
Right. So we need to distinguish whether we are able to understand in the first place. Second, we are able to practice or not. And how do we practice? And how effectively we practice. Yes, Kunain sir.
Okay, thank you. My personal opinion about this topic, time management, is that we can't manage time. And normally, I don't believe in putting wristwatch or clock. For me, my purpose of my life, the clarity is important. And what exactly I am going to achieve today, my achievement plan is important. And decluttering of mind through various distractions. And I believe that, as people say that time is money, it is more than that. Time is not money, because we can get the money back. We can't get time back. So an expert says that time management is life management, which is very true. So it's all about focusing on your life, having clarity of your goals, having proper plan, execution, achievements, whatsoever you are going to do today, execution done, and then keep on moving. So we have to manage our energy, our self, based on our life purpose. Yes, time is there, so we have to do the proper planning to avoid the distraction which might kill our time in unproductive things. So that's why I do it. I take it. I'm ready to learn more from you, sir. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kunain sir. I think you really put it very well. It's clarity of mind, decluttering the distractions from mind, planning and executing, understanding the importance of time, and managing the energy and self. I think all of us have very good clarity, very good idea of what is time management, how do we do it. I think it is a question of, are we doing it to start with? and how effectively are we doing it? I think that's what is more important. And obviously, it is not a surprise that all of us have such a clarity on time management. That's really excellent. So let's go ahead with the presentation. What I have, I think nothing new in my presentation. Whatever you all said, only that is there, nothing more. So let's briefly go ahead and talk about it. Okay, the formal definition of time management. Time management is the ability to use your time productively and efficiently. You could also think of it as the art of having time to do everything that you need without feeling stressed about it. It sounds simple, but it is much harder in practice. So basically, given the time, how do we manage it productively and efficiently, and also having time to do everything what I need without feeling stressed. So that's the art of time management. So some of the components of the time management, which all of us talked about, is first of all being clear about our purpose, our vision, and our goals. So once the purpose is clear, given any situation, any time, it's relatively easy for you to get the clarity on what is the right thing to do at that point in time. So hence the importance of purpose, vision, and our goals. So this is something we have been working on so long. I sincerely hope that each one of us are very clear about our purpose, vision, and goals. Once this is clear, it is automatic for us to use the time effectively to achieve our purpose, our vision, and our goals. So when we say it is our purpose, our vision, our goals, it is also shared vision and shared purpose and shared goals, because nothing can be 100% your own selfish stuff. In fact, if you are not serving others, you cannot be happy at all. So the question is, are we all clear about what's our purpose, what's our vision, and what are our goals? Of course, there can be changes over a period in terms of vision, in terms of goals. Even the purpose can a little bit keep changing. But given the current time, given the at this point in time, are we clear? If not 100%, are we clear 80% on our purpose, vision, and goals? So I would like to hear from each one of you. Are you clear about your purpose, vision, and goals?
Yes, sir. Clear about the purpose, goal, where to go. Yes, the challenge is, as I said, time management and little bit procrastination.
Now, in fact, once you are clear about purpose, vision, and goal, the time management becomes much more easier. You don't have any confusion on what to do in a given point in time and what is more important thing to do than doing something else. So it's a kind of, no, it's a, I would say if the purpose, vision, and goals are clear, almost 50% we are there in managing the time, is what I would say. So I request each one of you to share your views on this clarity on purpose, goals, and vision, and how it is related to time management. Yeah, whatever thoughts comes to you, just share it.
For example, like I have a goal to do certain things before 55. Example.
Right.
And if I'm not do my planning, my proper execution of that planning, you know, uh, and if I'm not able to do that before 52, after that, probably that achievement, what I want to do, will not be relevant. Sometimes the age related goals will be there. For example, roaming the world, or maybe exploring some mountain, do mountaineering, all those things.
Right.
Goal with the timeline, with the planning is important.
Right. So instead of saying I'm not, I think the fact that you have put that as the goal, you will do it, right? Because there is a focus, there is attention, there is a energy spent on that. So that's the importance. If you have not defined the goals, if you have not defined your purpose, then it is always a confusion. What's the right thing to do? Given a situation, given a time frame, you may have 10 different choices, and then there will be a lot of confusion in choosing what is the right thing. But if you have the purpose and goals and vision is clear, then it's quick, very quickly you can decide, okay, given this 10 options, I know the right thing to do is between these 2 or 3, and within those 2, 3, you can quickly decide what is the right thing to do. Yeah, so that's a really starting point, I would say, in managing the time more effectively. So let's move on, because we have been in mastermind, we have done all these things, so we are in a good position to manage our time more effectively. So then once we are clear about purpose, vision, and goals, then we can do a detailed planning, defining the task, action plan, to-do list. Again, we are doing this on a regular basis, on a daily basis. In fact, in our daily rituals, we are doing to-do list, and also periodically we must be doing the planning and list of tasks. So then comes the prioritization. Once you are clear at the top level purpose, vision, and goals, and then you detail that out in terms of action plan and the task and to-do list, then you need to prioritize, because within that also there will be lots of a list of things to do. Then prioritize. So how do we prioritize? We will briefly talk about it. I think Kamal also talked about that 4 window. We'll talk about that. So once you prioritize, then it is easy to do in which order to do. It's relatively easier. Then let's also talk about procrastination. In spite of all these things, there is a possibility of keep procrastinating. So how do we handle the procrastination? Then let's also talk about interferers, or the decluttering the things which are distractions, like Kunal sir talked about. So there are distractions, there are interferers. How do we declutter? Understand that it is given anything, there will be always some kind of dust, some kind of distraction. How do we manage that? And then what's the importance of health and wellness, holistic wellness, and how that affects the time management, and how do we do it? So these are some of the brief topics we'll try to cover. Right. So this is something we have already talked about and did it. So just to recap, purpose is what is required. This is what we do it, strategic planning in corporates, and it is true for us also as individuals and as family and as community as well. So what is the purpose? Why do we exist as an individual? Why do we exist as a family? Why do we exist as a community? We have to define clearly what is the purpose, which we have been doing consistently, and we are really lucky that we could do that in whatever the time frame we are all together. Then of course we have to define what are the core values, what we believe in, because the values come from your belief. The belief comes based on various experiences and exposures we have, and it is important that we don't blindly go with whatever the belief we have. We have to keep re-evaluating our beliefs and correspondingly the change in the values as well. Even though it is deep rooted, it's important. If you want to be more efficient, if you want to be more productive, it is important to re-evaluate our beliefs and our values and keep moving forward. Then vision, your vision, we have defined vision board, we have defined vision as such, and goals. The goal is BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goals, right? So this is what we talked about, smart goals as well as unrealistic goals, which we have talked multiple times, we defined multiple times, we keep reviewing, we keep moving forward, we keep achieving that. So what we want to be, so that is the vision and goal, which we are done. And then we have to define long-term strategies and objectives, basically doing a detailed action plan. That's our game plan, right? This is something we have not explicitly done it as part of Ultimate Mastermind, and it is given as an exercise for each one of us to do it. In fact, at one level, we did talk about the life journey, Kensho and Satori movements and breakthrough movements, breakthrough approaches. We did touch upon that, but you're detailed working on how your purpose, vision, and goals are translated into the solid action plans is one thing I think we all need to do on our own. Then there are ways of managing the action plan. One such approach is balanced scorecard, which I think at some point in time we'll try to talk about it, which is primarily used in the corporates. It can be used in individual aspect as well. Basically, our goals, our tasks, and our key performance indicators, right? So we do have the performance indicators, not only in our goals, even our habits. We have mentioned that if a particular habit is not done, what is the punishment? If it is done, what is the reward? And when we complete, what is that we are achieving? So these are all we have done very, very well. Now the important that we continue to revise, refresh, and update, and continue to do it. So any questions on this, or any addition you want to make on this? Okay, moving on. So this is what we talked about on planning, detailed action planning, task, and to-do list. So we have done it, the basic essential components, we have done it. We have to keep revising, keep refreshing, keep working on that. So we have done the project life where we have the action plan, we have the goals, sub goals, and tasks. It is there in our project life. So my suggestion is keep reviewing your project life PPT every month. Just spend half an hour, 1 hour. And if you feel kind of not feeling like doing it, at least schedule along with your accountability partner or your mentor or anybody else you feel, get 1 hour time from them and review together, right? So that will give a lot of clarity, a lot of insight into what is already done and what can be done further. So you can use the project planning approach to take each goal, each item you have, and drill down and bring it at the task and to-do list level. In fact, some of us are good at the project scheduling and planning in the office, whether it is MS project plan or any other such tool can be very, very effectively be used. So for example, MS project plan is amazing tool to use to do this planning. Take a goal and then drill down that what are the subtasks, what is the time frame, what are the resources required, who are all responsible. So much is there to do in the project planning. And then action items. So that is basically the detailed task. Then to-do list, what we have on a daily basis in our rituals. So we combine all these things together. So one is MS project, or the least thing we can do is the Excel sheet. So let's put everything in the Excel sheet and try to track it. So we can put urgent and important, all those things, prioritization in both MS project as well as in Excel sheet. And then review this on a regular basis. Review that we are anyway reviewing the to-do list on a daily basis. We can also review the detailed action items and the task on a weekly basis. So this is the importance of planning task and to do, because once you have this clarity at the finer and atomic level, then again, managing your time and prioritizing is very simple. Okay, so let's move on to prioritization. So here the main thing is distinction between urgent and important. Some tasks can be urgent, it demands your immediate attention, but that doesn't mean that it is important. It may matter, it may not matter. but it is urgent. So even though it is urgent, sometimes you may have to attend, sometimes you may have to just eliminate, sometimes you may have to delegate it. You don't need to necessarily do the urgent things. Important things are important. It matters to you. Whether you do it or not do it has a serious consequence for you. So that is the importance of the important task. For example, when your phone rings, answering the phone is urgent. Not necessarily it matters or doesn't matter. Something may matter, something may not matter. It may be just a call which you can ignore. But then it is urgent to attend. Only then you would know whether it is important call or not. Then you can take a call. So going to your dentist or doing a regular cleaning up in your house is important, right? It matters. It matters to you for your well-being, for your effectiveness. So it may not look urgent, but it matters. It affects your life. So we need to focus and prioritize the important tasks, like going to the dentist or cleaning the things in your house and many other things. So picking up the children from school is both urgent and important. This is the topmost thing. This is the topmost thing you need to attend to, this kind of task, which is urgent and important. Why it is urgent? Because the child is waiting, and if something happens alone, it is a big problem. So it is urgent and it is important. Obviously, the child is very important and you have to safely bring the child. So you have to, the topmost prioritization to be given to the urgent and important task. So reading funny mails or checking Facebook is neither urgent nor important. So this is something we can eliminate. So you can eliminate this only when you are absolutely healthy and you are not cluttered with too many things. Once you are really worried about something, your distraction will be more and more. Instead of attending to urgent and important things, you will by default move towards neither urgent nor important aspects. So the distinction between urgent and important is the very key in prioritizing your time and your workload, whether at work or home or wherever you are. If it is your job to eat frog, it's better to do first thing in the morning. And if it is your job to eat 2 frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. So this is what Mark Twain said. So morning is the best time to really get some of the very important things get done. So utilize that time. Okay, so here is the priority matrix we can draw. So matrix means it can be like this matrix. You can write it in your notebook, or you can put it in your PPT. You can put it in your Excel sheet, or you can generate such thing from your MS project. So wherever it is, you can basically classify all your tasks, which we talked before. After defining purpose, goal, and vision, we talked about doing a detailed planning task and to-do list. In that list, prioritize. So high importance and high urgency is the first one to do first. So that is the topmost left corner. So the next one is high importance, even if it is low urgency, that is the next one to do. Then high urgency, low importance, it can be delegated or it can be done later. And low urgency and low importance, there is no need to do it. It can be eliminated. So this is a priority matrix which we can use for our task. We can bunch all this task for the week or for the day in this format so that it is easier. By default, it is very clear that we have to get started with high importance and high urgency task first, and then high importance and low urgency, and then third, high urgency and low importance, and then ignore low urgency and low importance. If you don't put it in writing of the list of tasks, you don't even know whether it is urgent or important or not urgent, not important. So the first thing to focus is on urgent and important tasks, which is very clear in this, right? So moving on. So this is the way we can kind of an algorithm, or we have procedure we can follow. So out of this 4 boxes, each box should contain not more than 7 or 8 tasks, so that you don't get overwhelmed. So take the task for the day, for example, or for 2 days, for a week, or it can be off a day if the tasks are too many. So focus only on the off a day task if you have too many, or if you have sufficiently less, then you can focus on 1 or 2 days task. So start with the do now for box, which is high importance and high urgency. Don't put off the urgent and important things. That is the critical thing. So this is where all your distractions, all your procrastination will come in. So there you have to stand up whenever there is an urgent and important task. However unpleasant, however difficult it is, you have to start doing it. Eat that frog is what is more important. So if your state of mind, your health as a whole, your body, mind, and emotions and soul is in a very pleasant manner, you will not feel difficulty in doing the urgent and important things. So that is where the managing the life, managing yourself comes into picture. If you keep your life and yourself in an energetic way, you will automatically do however difficult the task is, which is urgent and important. So next, look at the less urgent but still important task. Decide what you are going to do about them. It can be scheduled for the future, or it can be delegated to someone else. So delegate the urgent but easier and less important tasks, and then eliminate not urgent, not important tasks. Finally, do the actual doing the things. After the prioritization, do the things. If there are too many tasks, so you can decide which one to do, which one to delegate, and which one to completely eliminate. So this you can do provided your health is really important. You can do effectively when your health is important. When your health is very good. So how are you actually using your time? Which task were you able to do? This is important to review once in a while, that how effectively you are managing your yourself and your time. So that's what is very, very important. Was your energy level appropriate? How was your stress level? What changes need to be made to your weekly schedule so that you become more efficient? What are persistent time wasters? This is something easy to observe. So day by day, week on week, look at what are your time wasters, what are your distractions, and then we can find a way to really eliminate them. Was procrastination an issue? For most of us, I think that is the issue. How do we handle it? We will talk about it. So this is the motto of the procrastinators. Never do today what you can put off till tomorrow. This is the disaster. This is the procrastination. So we should avoid this. Procrastination is my sin. It brings me naught but sorrow. I know that I should stop it. In fact, I will tomorrow. If you want to stop procrastination tomorrow, right? That doesn't work. So procrastination, we have to address it now. What are the forms of procrastination? Ignoring the task, hoping that it will go away. So if you ignore some task and thinking that it will go away, it will not. So you have to take it up. However, so even if you think that no, it is very difficult, you don't have much clue, but you get started, one step, one action, that is very important. That will solve your problem of procrastination. Just do one step at a time. Underestimating how long it will take, overestimating your abilities and resources, that also leads to procrastination. Telling yourself that poor performance is okay, insisting on perfection. So basically, even if it is poor performance, start doing it. You will slowly improve your performance. But you keep telling that no, unless it is perfect, I will not start, it will not work. That will lead to procrastination. Doing something else that isn't very important, that leads to procrastination. So you have to attend to the important and urgent tasks first, and then important tasks next. Believing that repeated minor delays won't hurt you. No, that will accumulate and really it will create more problem. More and more delays will create more difficulties and it becomes like mountain. Talking about rather than doing it. So you keep on talking about it, but not doing it will not lead you anywhere. It will be procrastinating further. Putting all your work on only one part of the task. Again, whichever you like, you keep looking at it, doing it, but not others. Again, it's a problem. So whatever it takes, just do it. Eat the frog. Becoming paralyzed when having to make choices. So this is another big procrastinations. But we are lucky because we have the clarity on our purpose, goal, and vision. So it's relatively easier to make choices on what to do. So these are the various forms of procrastination. So how do we overcome that? Win the mental battle by committing to being on time. So basically doing the things on time. Set and keep deadlines and follow through, review, organize, schedule, and plan. Divide the big job into small ones. That is very important. Otherwise, you looks like you get started and again stop it. But if you make it small task, then you can easily do it one by one. Find a way to make a game of your work or make it fun. So basically, you make the task more easier and fun. Reward yourself when you are done. So this is very important. Whenever you achieve something significant, reward yourself with something you like. Tell your accountability partners, friends, and family to remind you of the priorities and deadlines. Learn to say no to time wasters. So how do we tackle the time wasters? Learn to recognize when you are wasting time. First thing is that one. So first of all, whether you know that certain thing is time waster in the first place. If not, try to observe and understand that this is a time waster. Decide what you need to do and can realistically do. Learn how to say no when you don't have time. Return calls at your convenience. The phone is a major time killer. So you don't need to, even though it is urgent, you don't need to attend each and every call. Some of the calls you know that you can attend later on. Learn to say, I can't talk right now. I'll get back to you. And more importantly, the real time wasters are keep checking the messages. Whether it is WhatsApp message, Facebook message, email message, that is a time killer. So you can bunch it. You don't need to check as and when. First thing is, I think in your mobile, any alert is there on the message giving sound, stop that. First thing is stop that. It should not give you any alert. There is nothing so urgent which people send you in WhatsApp or email or Facebook. If it is really urgent, they will call you. So also have a discipline to look at the WhatsApp messages once in a while instead of continuously saying it. Similarly, the email messages or Facebook or whatever the online stuff. Wasting time is often linked to a lack of self-discipline. So self-discipline is very, very, very important. Ask yourself, do I really need to do this or not? Okay, so here are some of the interferers or the distractors. So it comes from your body, mind, and emotions. When you have lack of energy, lack of stamina, you have a lot of stress, you have ill health or disease, then you will not be able to focus and do the things which are supposed to be done. So it's important to take care of our body in terms of energy, stamina, and avoiding the stress. Having the good health is very, very important for us to do the time management more effectively. And the mind, having unhelpful beliefs, negative interpretations, because looking at something, you decide on your own and your mind starts going in loop. saying that, oh, that guy really meaning like, no, that person may be saying something from his point of view, but you interpreting it negatively is going to waste your time, and it's not going to allow you to do the things which are required. Emotions, so resistance, reaction, fear, anger, feeling of hopelessness, resignation, apathy. So these are all the various emotions which distracts you, which really takes you away from your effectiveness, your well-being. So how do you manage these things is very, very, very important. I think for each one of them, there are so many techniques available. We should really understand them and try to make use of them so that we can utilize our time more effectively. So for example, the brain there are three parts to the brain. So the first one is the lower brain, which is near backside of the head, backside down. So that is the brain stem or primitive brain. It doesn't have control. There is no choice. It just springs up. It is mainly used for the security purpose, survival and security. So it either fights or flights. It brings extreme emotions. The key driver is survival of opinions, beliefs, and convictions, avoiding harm or pain, safe and secure. That is its purpose. See, in the ancient times, there were so much of threat. The animals can come and kill you at any point in time. Hence, the importance of the primitive brain number one, which is there in the lower part of it, reptile brain. It is the reptile brain, which gets activated, and it has to be given. So it had to be given importance in olden days. But nowadays, hardly any such issue we face in real, life-threatening situation. Throughout our life, how many times we would have faced in 30, 40, 50 years of our life? How many times we would have faced the life-threatening situations? Maybe 4 times, 5 times maximum. Whereas in the ancient time, people used to face 4 or 5 times in an hour. They would have faced the life-threatening. So hence, this primitive brain, the reptile brain, has become so strong, so active, so this thing, even now it works like that. So whenever your primitive brain acts, reevaluate. Don't immediately jump into the action or jump into the conclusion. Evaluate with your third brain, which is the thinking brain. Then take an action. So don't just come to the conclusions from the primitive brain. The middle brain is the limbic or the midbrain. So it has low level of control. Its main job is to run the patterns to make your energy and your automatic things to be done. So it has very little control. So it works on the meaning and decision-making process. It automatically makes many decisions. So it is more worried about opinion, belief, and convictions. It talks about true and right, agree, disagree. It is more like a binary decision for the simplicity, for the effective decisions, but that may not be the most effective. So you should use your third brain, which is the thinking brain, which has high level control to make right decisions and convictions. And it looks at always similar and familiar thing. Change and uncertainty is a threat for that. The key drivers are feeling good, ease, and seeking attention. So that's the brain number 2, limbic brain. And the third brain, which is the uniqueness of human beings, we hardly use it. That's the problem. We should start using this. Whenever the brain number 1 and 2 gets activated, stop it and bring the control to third brain, which works on reasoning, reflection, and discrimination. It has high level of control and choice. It differentiates thoughts and emotions, and it is more goal-oriented. It embraces uncertainty. Whereas the brain number 1 and 2, they don't like uncertainty. So they will just take some quick and easy decisions to avoid uncertainty. Whereas the brain number 3, the conscious brain, can really look at the uncertainty and look at what is best for a given situation. So the key drivers are curiosity, excitement, learning, and growing. So first and foremost is your awareness, how your brain works and what part of brain works, and how do we take control from the third brain instead of leaving the control to brain number 1 and 2. So that's very, 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 very important. So when you are doing your meditation, when you are doing your daily rituals, when you are more aware, more conscious, then you can utilize your third brain for more effectiveness and less distractions. Finally, health and wellness is very, very important. So when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on the hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. So hence the time is very, very relative. So when your health is really at the peak, your time, you can manage your time most effectively. If your health is not good, looks like it is like pain managing the time. So hence focus on your health and fitness. Look at holistically the health, body, mind, emotions, and soul, and look at how to create the positivity, happiness, and contentment. So that's about time management. So this is, for example, this is for student athletes. Prioritize and practice your various tasks. Use a planner or calendar. Complete the assignments in chronological order. Begin study in advance. Avoid procrastination. Don't take on too many responsibilities. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. So this is all applicable for all of us as well. This is one such guideline. Finally, time management versus self-management. Do we really manage the time? May not be. What we need to manage is the self. So with that, let me conclude this presentation. Thank you very much. Let's go for question and answers and sharing and discussions.
Big round of applause for Mr. Rama, please, guys.
Yes, yes.
Well, big thank you for finishing on before time, Rama sir.
Thank you. Time management.
Okay, I think of course this is such a critical topic, and I'm sure that we have so many questions, and Rama sir really made it so simplified with so many pointers. And I'm sure your people have taken in a lot of notes as well as screenshots, which is already copyrighted by Rama sir. Of course, now we can whatever questions we have, we can definitely shoot to Rama sir. So Rama sir,
all my presentations are available for you. You can claim copyright for yourself.
Okay.
No, I have a question, but to Kunen sir, because he said initially that he is decluttering his mind from distraction. So, know your experience, so that we can also do that.
Well, Rama sir is here, so I think he can answer this. How can we declutter? Rama sir?
Okay,
Yeah,
then,
sure.
then your experiences also, like how you are doing it, huh? Okay. Yeah, Rama sir.
Yeah, Koeng sir is doing it. I think he wants me to talk about it. So it is actually some of the things is your reaction, for example, So whenever you are you are in a particular situation, immediately there is a reaction comes from your brain number 1 and brain number 2, right? So first thing is being aware of it and then taking a conscious choice is one part of decluttering. Second, the resistance. Whenever something is suggested to you, which you don't like or you may not like, or you believe in something, whereas what was suggested probably is more appropriate, but your mind will resist. So how do we stop that resistance and look at from open point of view? That is another one. And then the regular decluttering is by the way of meditation, by the way of surrounding with positive people, positive things, training your mind to look at the positivity. So there are so many such things available, Kamal, and of course, each one of us are practicing in some or other way. But it can be the number of practices can increase, the effectiveness of practices can be increased, and that is the basis of our 5 rituals, for example. Being in gratitude. If you're truly in gratitude, you declutter your mind. You are truly forgiving yourself and others. You are decluttering your mind. If you are clear about your purpose, your goals and vision, you are decluttering your mind. If you are able to list out your list of things, urgent and important things to do, you are decluttering your mind. So if you are being open to the suggestions, open to the life experiences, you are decluttering your mind. If you are open to relook at your beliefs and your values, you declutter. So all of them are really the great decluttering exercises. So we do and we can better it on a daily basis. Does it give some direction?
No, yes, correct, very correctly said. No, everything we are doing, but yes, to get more insight of that. Thank you, sir.
Just to add on, since Kamal has requested, Kamal, can I ask you what is the
Yeah.
opposite of death?
Life.
Okay, I had the same impression, but opposite of death is not life. Opposite of death is
Birth.
birth. Life is eternal.
Okay, I didn't. Opposite of death is what?
Can you repeat that?
Birth.
Birth.
Born, baby born.
Birth.
So when I realized that opposite of death is not life, it is birth, I changed my perception about the decluttering and stress and all. And then I realized that I am not my body, I am not mind, I am conscious. I have body and mind to live my life, which is eternal. Are you getting me?
Correct.
Then with this concept, you become aware. You really become conscious. And then you have the awareness of self and surroundings and everything what's happening around you. And then you stop those energy which are coming and distracting you from your purpose of life wherever you want to reach. As Mr. Rama explained, the purpose, values, goals, and all. And that gives you complete clarity every moment. And when we are aware that I'm not body, I'm not mind, I'm conscious. And this world is for a limited time, life is eternal. And then we enjoy the moments. That's what I practice. Still learning, many things to be learned. So I hope this clarifies certain things what you wanted to ask.
Yes, sir, very clear, very clear. We have to conscious, and yes, what you said, our time is limited, but the life is eternal. And that's something that my key takeaway. Thank you, sir.
Angie, I have we always say that, okay, the soul is continuous and, life is short and you need to accumulate. So in that, what happens, I feel that something is really contradictory what we are doing, because we are like chasing goals and we were aspiring to do something big, and, hoarding material stuff is, of course, one major part of it, right? Though we don't want to talk about it, but it's in the subconscious that, no, I aim to do this, I aim to do that. So somehow I feel that is really contradictory to what you spoke now, because all of us know that, or at least in the Gita we say that your body is it is just like a cloth, like a dressing, right? Your soul continues to live and you just drop it off when your like body is tired. You drop that off and you move on, and So by that, I would feel, if I was really looking that way, that I would have probably dropped off so many goals which I'm chasing now. And I said, oh, chillax, just relax. So, I mean, the other extreme part of it. So, how do you identify with that bit? You know, really, do I need to do so much? Why don't I just, you know, probably be like a monk, for example?
Well, that's what is the real wisdom. Still, I have not learned, Jayaji. Still, I am learning. But you rightly mentioned, and what I have as of today know is that we have in this body two very clear journey. One journey is for this world. We acquire something, we leave this, all the things what we acquire, we leave here in this world and leave the body. We don't take anything from us. And other journey is that we acquire something, live our life in this world with our containment of the body and the mind, and then carry something along with us when we leave this body. So the second journey is the real powerful journey when we say that life is eternal. It has to be balanced. So we acquire the things, we achieve the goals for this world, but same time, we acquire many things to take along with us from this world to another world.
That's the karma. That's what we are.
Add on this.
Karma is a result of what you do. So karma doesn't make you carry something.
No, that's what you carry. Whatever you do, it results into whatever the karma, whatever you want to call. That's what you carry. What Kunain sir was saying, the second part. What do you carry? Not the material, but the effect of whatever you have done or not done.
Yeah. What I know about karma, Jayaji, is energy. And it has been proven, whatsoever we do is energy. So if we do certain things, like the positive things and whatsoever, we carry that. That's why life is eternal. So more positive approach, more positive things, more the positive creativity for the another world. That's what we have to balance. Live this world by acquiring materials or whatsoever is necessary, and then keep on working on another world. So both we have to manage. Ramasan, back to you. I hope this answers.
Oh, thank you, Kunain sir, for the great clarification. Yes, please. Other questions?
Yeah, the only thing is that, okay, you have goals, but you know how to bring yourself back, because many times we like just stray, and then it's like again building on. I know one of the things that I had put in my goal sheet, which I really don't look, is that lose 5 kgs by October 2020. Oh, it's just gone the other way. Some other goals I chased, but this is like, now I'm like thinking, oh, anyway, okay, next week. So, oh my goodness, don't kill me, guys. We are supposed to be the mastermind.
So just that's okay. It's natural. So what you may want to evaluate is, are your goals in line with your purpose? Because some of the goals may not be in line with your purpose. In that case, there may be confusions, there may be distractions.
But this is one sidey goal, na? Does this come under really like, it's not like the main goal? I do not know how to put it.
I'm not saying this goal. You have some other goal,
yes,
which distracts you away from your purpose. Hence, you are not able to do this.
Yeah.
That's my proposition. Just validate that.
Rama sir?
I could have parallelly pursued Rama sir.
Sorry?
I could have parallelly pursued both. I mean,
you can.
This is not eating into the time of the other goals. You know?
No. It is nothing to do with time. It can be with time, but it is to do with your intention. It is to do with your energies. Okay. So time is only one aspect. but the more important aspect is your energy and your intention.
Mm. Right, right.
So you have to look at holistically, not just this particular goal. Look at all your goals together and see whether your purpose is, the goals are in line with the purpose. If some of them are away from that, maybe you want to modify or eliminate or redefine your purpose, right?
Yes. Thank you.
That's I'm telling at the very, very top level, but I know you are expecting the answer at the ground level, which you have to discover for yourself.
Listen.
And for that, you can attend growth sessions, Sri. You'll find out.
I have not missed a single one. You please join us.
Okay, Guna sir was saying something. Guna sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Rama sir, for the wonderful. This is a very fine topic because in the entire world, this is the most important thing. Time management is the most important thing, and decluttering is very, very important. All the successful people are very great in this part. If you are very successful in this time management, will be definitely successful. And you have given beautiful insights, and that's really awesome. Coming to the what Jayashree madam and Kunain sir was talking. Previously, I was thinking that what we are doing, all these rituals, karmic, and it's all small, also all our stories. That now the recent the transpersonal hypnosis says that it's a fact. In quantum mechanics, it says that it's all fact, and our people discovered long before that, even before quantum mechanics, quantum physics discovering all these things. Our ancient for ancestors discovered long before that. Whatever we are doing, so he says, for example, I'll show you this book. This is called, it's a small book called E Square. E Square. E Square. One of the awesome book I've ever seen. It's a small E Square and A Cube. It comes just before that, before The Secret, this book came. And each, every topic, there are 9 experiments in each book, and each experiment is very awesome. It's great. It's giving really miracles and miracles. If you actually, we are interconnected. It says that we are all interconnected through energy. When you give the positive energy, you will get the positive feedback. When you get the negative energy, you will get the negative feedback. This is the basic principle of all these things. And what Kunain Sir and Jayashree madam was talking is really wonderful, and really I want to admire. And madam is telling, Jayashree madam was telling that I have the goal, but I'm not able to achieve. For me, I have one simple answer is that the goal is in mouth, not in mind. If it is in mind, definitely you'll be getting it. It should be in your heart. Rather, we can say it should be in your heart.
Actually, the weight loss goal is in my mouth only.
Yes, that's it. If that is the case, definitely we'll be achieving it. There is no chance that we cannot miss it. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this wonderful topic.
Thank you, Guna.
Presentation.
Madhavi, it is E Square. The book name is called E Square.
E Square and E Cube. Both are available. Palm Growth is a very beautiful book. Thank you.
I think Santosh already sent the soft copy.
Yeah, it's a very good book, Guna sir. I know that recently, because one of my mentors and coach did that exercise to all of batches, like the whole batch of us, and it was really good. It has so many experiments which are
Probably next Saturday you can do that for us, Santosh.
G?
Now, Santosh will do us that exercise next Saturday. Sunday. No comments.
Yeah, Santosh will do whatever is required. So any other
Santosh, you find a trainer to do that.
Other than that, we have that Eat the Frog and Atomic Habits. No, those 2 books are also very effective way. Somebody wants to learn that.
True.
Any other questions? Sharing viewpoints?
I think on decluttering, Rama sir, usually there are a few things which are very easy to declutter, which are like physical surroundings, like whatever you have around your space. Okay.
Yeah. Ramanujan sir in two device. Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah.
He muted. Go on.
Yeah.
Go
So
on, sir.
yeah, we have usually like physical surroundings, and these things are easy to declutter, right? But most of the things that the things which take our time is sometimes either is like these are emotional declutters or some kind of a thought. So these things are takes a lot of time rather than the physical surroundings. So how do we declutter with those things, Rama sir?
Absolutely. So that's where you need to train the mind to declutter your emotions and your mind. What's coming up. So first and foremost is the awareness. Awareness that this is what is happening to my mind and to my emotions, and then we can manage it. Many a times we are not even aware. Suddenly some emotion comes and it really takes some decision and moves on, which is not good for our own overall perspective, right? So first thing is awareness. Second, there are tools and techniques to manage our mind and to manage our emotions. So each one is a broad, very, very broad topic, Santosh. It is all not very well integrated, but it's all fragmented. But there are tools and techniques to manage both the mind and emotions. For example, emotions. Now, all of us know emotional intelligence. So emotional intelligence talks about 4 aspects of the whole thing. First one is self-awareness. So how do I be aware of what's happening to me? So me in the sense, the body, mind, emotions, energies, soul, right? Aware of that one. So there are details we can go into that. The classic book Daniel Goleman on emotional intelligence. He explains a lot. So self-awareness. Second is self-management. It is not sufficient to be just aware of yourself. You have to be managing yourself. Otherwise, it doesn't bring in the best in you. It doesn't bring the positivity. It doesn't bring the productivity or efficiency. So we have to manage the self. So by default, we just leave it. We neither be focusing on the awareness part of the self-awareness, nor managing ourselves. So that focus we have to bring in. So how do we be aware? How are we be aware? How do we manage? There are many books, many tools and techniques which are explained. There is a lot of literature on that. The next 2 aspects are understanding others. See, this is very, very important. Many times we don't even know, we don't look at from others' point of view, but it's important to understand others. And the 4th aspect is managing others, or it is also called relationship management. Self-awareness, self-management, understanding others, managing others. So these are the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence, right? So similarly, managing the mind, there are so many techniques available on what goes into your mind, how to observe the mind, how do we manage the mind. So there are so many things. And one aspect today we discussed briefly is 3 parts of the brain and how each brain works and what is the function of that and how it really comes to the conclusion, quick conclusion because of the safety and security and simplicity reasons. But how do we not allow brain number 1 and 2 take control and really move you into less efficient life? How do you bring control to your forefrontal brain, which is the brain number 3? So there are so much available on that as well, Santosh. So there are materials, there are training programs, there are mentors available to do all these things. And obviously we cannot cover them in just one session, but we can, if we are all interested, we can explore each aspect separately at various point in time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rama sir. I have Girish raised his hand. So Girish, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Thank you, Santosh, and thank you, Rama sir. Actually, every time you are coming with so many insights, we know.
Sir, please come on video. Sir, please come on video. Giri sir.
Sorry, Guna sir. Actually, I am not in my house. Actually, I am somewhere else.
Okay, sir. Okay, it's fine.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, sir. It's fine.
I totally no problem. What I have started.
So you said you thanked Santosh, and then you said every time I come and present.
Yeah. The insights actually we are learning from that 90 days ultimate mastermind daily regular meeting we had almost 2 days weekly. At that time itself we had so many insights. Now also you are bringing with so many slides with that is spirituality. Every time I am saying whatever the content you are giving, you are mixing with our spiritual thing. So in our olden days, our thing, we are going to temple, the morning time and evening time. The discipline starts from spirituality. Like that, I am connecting with you all. Even every time I will tell that you are our Indian Bodhidharma. We are already we missed to China, but right we have to catch. Like that, even though it may be a comment, but it's my deep mind. Every time I am telling that. I know your personal things. I know your valuable time with Mahabalipuram, your family, and you are the real person. So I almost 2-3 days I was staying with you. I know your discipline. Even though we are not able to, sometimes we are not manage our time also and our emotions. We are controlling our emotions. When coming to the question is. We are learning so many things. I think simple tips how to handle almost that 24 hours has been divided 8 hours for working and another 8 hours and then 8 hours for sleeping. These still we are not able to manage that at least the night 8 hours, the deep sleep. Most of the time we are totally missing. That is making collapsing each and everything. That strict time, 10 to 6. Whether we are following disciplinedly, whether we are sleeping properly, our internal organs totally shut down and rejuvenating. We are not understanding that our body chemistry. Every time I will tell that before going to bed, have some warm water. It can prevent the heart attack like that. That 8 hours, if you are giving that 8 hours, okay, in the daytime we are managing something, but that 8 hours, the crucial time for your body. If you are spending, I think it's most of the, it can take anything. It can take care of anything. That 8 hours, I think we have to spend for our body. Without body, nothing. Almost, I am seeing that recently my close family, 2-person heart attack. It's a suddenly massive heart attack. They are living this. I can't able to come from that emotional situation. They can't even tell what is their final thing like that. They are going from this world. They are living 40 years, 15 years, even 70 years. But even 10 minutes, 5 minutes, they have no time. What is the communication to be done to their family? Like that, we are running. We are chasing, but really we are chasing what we are chasing. It's a very big question mark. So my humble request is take care of your heart. It's what will the 5 internal in Tamil that's Raja organs like that heart, kidney, and some of the 5 internal organs we have to take care of. We have to control our mind. Even though sometimes I know my heartbeat going like anything, I can able to control how to control the situation. Even the heart attack also can be prevented. It's all our emotions. So there are so many things I have to discuss, but this heart attack is the main thing we can get rid of from this by controlling our emotions. These are all, even it has been connected with the time management also. Thank you, Rama sir.
Thank you, Giri. Every time you come, you really, appreciate people and, really bring out your deep emotions and, concerns and real appreciation. So some suggestion for you, the waterman. So drink a lot of water and swim in the water, right? And the third one is be like water, be flexible and flow with the life. So these are the 3 things I would suggest to you, Giri. Thank you.
Sorry, repeat, Rama sir.
Drink a lot of water. Swim in the water. Every day swim in the water. Swimming.
Yes.
And be like water, flexible in life.
Yes.
So that's the advice for
I have
water.
to constrict. This is COVID time, we can't able to go for swimming. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rama sir. I think Santosh following is instantly.
Yeah.
Eat water. Eat water.
Thank you. So I think Ramanujan sir wanted to talk.
Yeah.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Rama sir.
Really, today, after graduation from UMM, every session in growth community is really, making us, still we have not yet fulfilled, a lot of things, still long way to go, life. Very simple topic today, time management. Normally, everybody talks about time management, but you have put it in a different perspective, which really connecting theory into practice. Really, that is what, amazing. How theory, we can read books, we know many things, how we can put it correctly, and how we can practice every day. Really, the session has helped us to understand further deep meaning of what action needs to be taken. That is really, very fantastic, Mr. Ramanujan. I think, this is, I would say that, still we have a long way to go. And our journey after graduation, if we stop, it is only give more cluttering. If we want to declutter our mind every day and every action, I think we have to do a lot of hard work. It is not just simply, setting up goal and following up. It is everyday life. The healthy mind state is the first and foremost is required. That is what, I understand. You are keep on saying the healthy mind only brings the right decision and management and understanding important, non-important, make it urgent. Most of our life, we spend more time for trivial things, which is not going to do anything. But trivial things, if you understand it correctly, if you act on it, then your procrastination has go on. The procrastination comes when it is not being handled at a starting point, as you were very clearly mentioning in every word in the session. I understood. I mean, I am not coming to camera, but still, I was listening very carefully, and it has given me immense pleasure today. Still, a lot of areas we need to improve. Even though we have a project life and we have purpose and all that, there are a lot of things, tiny things, which we are missing. The tiny things becoming, blowing it up, and it making big worries and big difficulties in our day-to-day operations. Therefore, I was talking to Guna and Jayashree and all that. I have decided that the healthy state of mind is achieved only if you complete the NLP training. Because why Mr. Ramanujan is so clear in his thought process and very, very cool. It is because the NLP training, the behavioral science is more important than anything in this world. That is what I understand. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramanujan. Really, that is what I wanted to give a feedback. But really, the session is wonderful. And as Jayashree was saying, because we are trying, that is what, my responses, everything I was giving a feedback only to that. In that case, that, we should not feel bad. We have to keep improving and trying to achieve. That is what I understand. Thank you very much, Ramazan. What is your any feedback to me? I appreciate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Of course, you are the hero here. Always, enthusiastic, participating, and helping people, helping yourself. So it's amazing. It's great to be associated with you, sir. Thank you.
Gee, I have one thing. Actually, everybody looking to be a hero, but my life, how I take it, I want to achieve zero.
Sure.
I want to achieve zero defects. When I go to a factory, I look at achieving zero defects. Okay. When I do something, I don't want to get great things. There should not be any pending issues. Zero is a big number. Zero has more value than your big numbers. Okay. If zero is there, you can, if you just add one in front of it, then it will have more zeros. If you add, then your life will be fulfilling. This is what I learned. Zero is very powerful. If you try to attack everything, zero pending, zero defects, zero complaints, okay, and this gives a very meaningful life to us.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hero to zero. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Ji.
And I would like to add one point. For depression and anxiety, they are giving life skills training. Do you know what is they are giving, suggesting? The first one is anxiety, gratitude journaling, then forgiveness, then to-do list. This is the prescription for depression and anxiety in cognitive behavior hypnotherapy as a part of life skills training. And we have all the time we are practicing all these things for a long time. I don't know, the same order they have prescribed. I don't know how it coincided. It's really amazing. Thank you.
Why did you went there, sir?
No, it's a part of behavior therapy learning purpose.
Okay, just kidding.
He's psychology enthusiast.
Yes. As a part of the course, they learned all these things.
Great, thank you, Gunnar sir. So we are about to close this session. Santoshji.
Yeah.
Before we close?
Yes,
of course. Go ahead.
Ramaji, thank you very much. The session was wonderful. The way you have asked to be, sharing with us, that has made it more impactful. Always you come with so many examples which you gave. The quick ones we know because of the timing, but yes, it has been always great to have a conversation with you, always giving great answers. For me, what I realized is I know that quadrant of urgent and important, but I don't write them down. So I'll be doing that now. And few things like interferers, that is really very important. How we learn to say no, and why we are not able to achieve what we want to achieve. That was a great learning from my side. So thank you.
Thank you, Sushma.
Okay, thank you, Sushma ji. By the way, we are waiting for your presentation. You know the date, right?
Yes, next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Yeah.
So we are going to have
Thank you,
another...
Rama sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thanks. And I wanted to say, is it my observation that whenever Giri sir comes, he talks about water? They're very much obsessed with...
Yeah, why not? It's a good thing. That's his that's his life purpose, right?
And
that's a little over obsessed.
Nanaji, our body...
okay, it has to be fine-tuned, I agree. But it's okay to focus on that. Sorry, Kunayan sir, go on.
Yeah, sorry, Kunayan.
Our body is 70% water.
Huh?
So we are water.
Yeah. Right.
So
it's like,
So we all should talk
then we
water.
have then we have to study water, then we have to study mind, then we have to study time. Okay.
No,
Then we have to study ourselves.
right now, you please give some feedback from London about water.
We don't drink water, you know.
You
We
use
just use
tissue?
it for mixing.
Early morning,
I'm joking.
Sushma, behave.
Naina is in laughter session still. Hey, wake up.
No,
Okay,
I,
great.
Giriji, I had so less knowledge after watching your presentation 2-3 times. No, I think I feel I know everything about water. So now I look water in a different way.
no, after the session, we are going to disconnect the water from your house, Naina. Giri is
Yeah. मैं तो shower करते हुए भी सोचती हूँ थोड़ा बार shower करूँ कि नहीं करूँ.
okay.
All right.
What my
Yes.
teacher told.
On that note.
Yeah, Guna sir.
Yes.
Guna say
My
something.
teacher told during my undergraduation about water. There's one course in water. Universal ubiquitous elixir of life. Universal ubiquitous elixir of life. Elixir of life.
Elixir of life is water. Yeah. That is one of my Facebook posts. You know, I have posted one on elixir of life.
Awesome session,
Okay.
Santosh, today. Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll conclude this session, Santosh, with the permission of you all, with my input quickly, and thanks to see Mr. Giri wants to say something. Giri sir, wants to say something.
Yes, why the topic moved almost to water? I don't know. Is there any feedback for me? I can also change.
No, sir.
Where water is there, Giri sir is there. Where Giri sir is there, water is there. There is nothing, sir.
Water is your purpose, sir. So stick to that. Don't change.
Thank you all.
Okay, so
Okay.
we'll conclude this session, Santoshji, with my inputs
sir.
quickly, and with the big, huge round of applause to Rama sir for touching upon the time management in a very practical manner. And I believe all present here, we all have certain takeaways. So that's very useful from the perspective of gaining extra knowledge, and that's what is the purpose of Ultimate Mastermind Growth Community. So the session has definitely served the purpose in a very professional, very beautiful, and very effective manner. So thank you so much, Rama sir. And we have a new guest here, Mr. Soma Sajivan. So let's say him happy morning. And Somaji, you were busy somewhere, you joined late, or quick word from you?
I missed actually after some hosting session, some or other happening. But I just wanted to say Giri Sahab actually is morning. His wife's brother-in-law passed away. So he is into that, Giri Sahab. He's going on that. And I will touch base with Ramasan and catch up what we lost. And maybe I can talk to you, can send the recordings. I'll go through that.
Sure. Thank you, sir. And our heartfelt condolence to the parted soul. May God put rest in peace, the higher place in paradise.
Thank you for your consoling. Thank you all.
Yeah, sorry, sir.
Okay, so moving forward, thank you guys. Mr. Rama touched upon the purpose, the planning, prioritization, and how to manage procrastination, interference, and giving values to our health and wellness. And also, he explained the tools available, which normally we do practice use in our work in the corporate world, MS Project, Excel sheet, and very powerful, the quadrant. So we all must look into that. and follow that so that we get more benefits. And another important part, which Mr. Rama explained, is the 3 types of brain, which we should look into seriously, that we are operating at any moment from which brain, 1, 2, or 3. Most of the time we are either in 1 or 2. We have to shift consciously, intentionally to work or operate from brain number 3. And if we can do that, definitely we will get more self-awareness, and self-management will improve, so that indirectly we'll manage our time and energy. Now, quick addition to what Mr. Rama explained. I do follow that 80-20 rules as well. You all must be knowing. So that can be also put into that. And as far as the goals are concerned, we have discussed that putting into the smaller pieces, chunking it, and then achieving it. And another important part is that the crisis management, when we talk about the time management or whatsoever management. So we should be able to manage the crisis also. My takeaway from this session is managing time without feeling stressed. That's very critical. And that comes when we do the crisis management also effectively. Delegation is another important task with the busier corporate executives like Jayaji and others. We can delegate certain tasks which we should not do, or someone else are there available to take care of that. So we can get rid of the time wasters, what Mr. Rama explained. And other important aspects of the overall self-management is, as Mr. Rama explained, that body, mind, and emotion. So body is all about the physical energy. So we do have to take care of our body through also by giving a breaks, intermittent breaks, like after half an hour, 1 hour, whatsoever is our energy level or capacity of the body. If you feel that after 45 minutes or 1 hour, give a break, because break of 5 to 7 minutes rejuvenate the body, re-energize the body. So instead of working continuously 3 hours, break into 55 minutes, 55 minutes, 55 minutes, or whatsoever is your capacity. So that way we manage our physical energy of the body. And then we discuss about the emotions. Emotions brings the quality of energy. So if we manage our emotion, we improve the quality of energy. We cannot control emotions. It keeps on coming. We have to manage. That's what Mr. Giriji explained, that controlling is difficult, sir. We have to manage. Management is easier, and thus we can do. And the emotion management is about through self-talking, through introspecting. That's what we have learned in the 5M club. Reflection, what exactly my thoughts are going on. And the mind is about focus on energy. Many people believe that multitasking is very important in terms of getting the time management. We have heard various experts coming on this platform that this is a focus. One task, focus completely, finish, go to next task, focus completely, finish. Because focus of energy comes from the mind management. So these 3 interferers are there, which certain basic tips, tools we can manage. So with this, I would like to thank Guna sir also for the inputs and the books, what you have mentioned, and that would be definitely useful. I would like to thank Rama sir for the input. It's definitely useful. And last but not the least, which is another big subject, I'll request Rama sir, whenever you are ready, sir, next month, anytime, let's discuss or have a session on emotional intelligence, which is nothing but because in this world, we as a human being interact with other human beings. So if we can know ourselves, and if we can know others, if we can manage ourselves, if we can manage others, then job is done. So emotional intelligence is a very important, very critical topic, which we all should do this. And other important thing, what we discuss about the 3 parts of brain, which can be improved through meditation, which all we do. Now, the latest concept in meditation is quantum meditation, which is something new, which again, I think we have to have another session, either from Mr. Rama or someone else. What is actually the quantum meditation? How can further we improve our self-awareness to completely operate from brain number 3? So if we can do that, that will be ultimate. So our journey of ultimate mastermind growth community will continue. This is just the 7th session, and I'm sure we have to keep on attending, keep on learning, keep on sharing, so that our journey of life lessons continue and we don't get distracted to achieve, acquire, and have goals only for this world, which is limited, but we keep ourselves ready for the eternal life, to ultimate achievement of wisdom, so that when we leave this body, when we release and go to other world, we go with complete contentment. That will be the ultimate achievement and the purpose of ultimate mastermind. So thank you all, and back to you, Santosh ji, for the parting words and concluding this session.
Thank you so much, Kunal sir, for summarizing in such a nice way. Once again, thank you so much, Rama sir. Whenever you come to this, whenever you come to speak, there is nothing less than wisdom that comes out. So thank you so much for being part of the whole community since the beginning and always being there. Of course, we are looking for further sessions from you and from the rest of the people too. And that's all from me. From me, the takeaway is, of course, identify the time wasters. And probably one of the biggest one is to say no, and some of them. So definitely I'll try to practice whatever wisdom bites you have shared. So that will be, so that it will make a difference to my life as well as people around me. And I thank the whole community, everyone from Ramanujam sir, Kunal sir, Rama sir, Guna sir, JK, Kamal, Soma sir, and Naina madam, Santosh Soni, Sushma Pichu, and who else did I miss? Somebody, Giri sir. So thank you so much for coming, and Soma sir, thanks for coming even during the last moment. So with that, we conclude, and we would love to see next week is Sushma's presentation. Then of course, again, we'll be coming back with more presentations. So that's all from now, and thank you so much, guys. God bless you all. Be part of the community. Be there to support each other.
Thank you, Santosh. And just a last point to Mr. Ramanujan, which just came into my mind about the zero. I am targeting to have zero ego. If I have zero ego, then I'll be able to achieve something. We all should target for that, zero ego, because ego is something which creates problems in our lives. So zero is a wonderful word. I'm relating that zero with ego so that we can achieve better things. Thank you so much, Rama sir, for that. So next session.